Welcome back to TV Anonymous. This is Wombat 38. I'm joined by my co-host today.
Oh, am I supposed to start talking now?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you would say my name. Yeah. What's up, guys? Fat Phil here. Episode 3 of TB Anonymous. So we're making this a thing.
yeah. This is also our third episode without a co-host, or without a
Yeah.
guest co-host.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a guest on here eventually. It'll be anybody whose name
Doesn't
does
start with
not
an E.
start with E, followed by a G or an N or an A or an R or a D, and who's trash at territory battles because they have to rely on Omicrons for waves.
Yeah, and we're putting a permanent ban on anyone with Relic 9 Gungans as well. That's just it's
Yeah, we're not really
banning.
calling anybody out specifically.
Yeah, why would we call anyone out?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Um, but yeah, dude, so let's talk obviously TB. How did your guild do in territory battles? What did you guys star count end up with? I'm gonna pull up your guild in the little search function here so we can show
So I
people.
think I think I want to say we did 42 stars,
Okay, let me
but
see.
That's
There we
that's
go.
just what this certain person said. Okay, so we did 42.
Yeah, 42 stars.
I don't
Nice.
I don't really
All
keep
right.
track of it. I just kind of claim my rewards and do my combats. Because I kind of have the different thing of view of TV where I'm not an officer, so I'm not really contributing or I'm contributing. I'm not really affecting how many stars we're getting. I'm just kind of doing my thing. And if as long as I don't miss out or not participate, that's not really mattering. Although
Yeah.
a big milestone is I just unlocked Bo-Katan Mandalore. So
Nice. There you
now,
go.
so now I can do the Mandalore CM, and I think after Ahsoka, I want to do the full R9 Mando's mission because I was arguing with someone the other day about how the R9 Sabine, what was that you? I forget. How the R9 Sabine Wren is better than the R8 Ahsoka Tano GL.
Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know if I buy that,
And
but
I'm
I'm here
thinking
for it.
to follow my point, I'm going to do that before my R8 GL Ahsoka.
I mean, it's not a horrible investment. Sabine
Even
does have the tags.
But it's funny because all my GLs are Relic 9. So I'm gonna make her the last. I'm gonna R9 other characters in her team before I give her R9 or R8.
I mean, that's gonna be hilarious. We hit 43 and we are actually 10 million away from 44. So we're like right on a knife's edge of moving up to 44 stars.
Wow.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot. And it's funny, we were talking like before we started that like my guild goes like it's funny, like we got one more star than you guys, and we go incredibly hard in territory battles. And it's kind of this like, is it really all worth it? And it's really just a bragging rights thing at the end of the day. Like there's not a massive difference in rewards between 42 and 43 stars.
Yeah, as long as you're getting the bonus planets, that's where all the rewards are. Bonus planets and
Yes.
the special missions.
Yeah, which we do. I will say we do pretty much focus on the specials to try and get like where we need to be. But did you keep track of your wave? Do you keep track of your waves at all, or do you not care? Like, do you even do phase one?
I usually don't do phase one simply because by the time because I'll sometimes I'll forget and do it the morning of. But for phase one, it's always done the morning of before I wake up. So I don't always get to it. But when I can, I do. But the thing is, phase one, you don't have to. Like you can
Yeah,
almost have the entire guild just deploy and do platoons and you're done.
yeah. It was funny. We do we require our members to hit 70 waves in phases 2 through 6. So we don't even count phase one in your waves anymore because not everybody has to do them.
Well, yeah, and then there's the
But
issue of you get on it and it's already been maxed and you're like, well, I can't do waves.
yeah, exactly. But and we even it's funny because like we say that 70, but there's even times where we're not doing other missions on like for Zepho day one, the first day we have Zepho, which is I guess day three, we only open up the Jedi Cal and the fleet mission. And then for day two, it's fleet, Cal, and then you get to pick either the unrestricted or the UFU mission. But even still, it'll get closed. If you don't do them in time, it'll still get closed before you end up with all of your stuff done.
Mhm.
Um, But I did 111 waves this time, which was another, like, I upped it by two. And that's no Omicrons, unlike other trash people that equip Territory Battle Omicrons to juice their waves up and, you know, spam the Zepho missions, things
Yeah.
like that.
See, I- my thing is if I'm going to do the R9 Mandalorians for that mission, I'm going to get you pass on me because if I'm going to do stuff that crazy, I might as well do the TB on me too.
Yeah, it's funny. There's somebody was asking me. I mean, I filmed like my territory battles, much
Oh
like
yeah.
Agnards did. I need to do my phase four next because that's where I do phase four. I can get through Dathomir without a galactic legend,
Oh
which
yeah.
is which is super fun. And um,
Where do you
but
use SLKR? Or did you platoon him?
so yeah, so initially I was platooning him because I just didn't need him. Like that was what I had available. But then um now it's kind of funny because like I'll use, day four, I guess we have a bunch of planets open. So Dathomir, no GLs. Then I can use Sith Eternal on or Sith Eternal. Then I can use Kylo on like Kessel if I want. I can use Lord Vader there. And then my light side GLs are split up between Lothal, um, and Mandalore. I
Hmm.
mean yeah. But I definitely try to deploy some of my guys where I can.
Yeah, a lot of for me, like past phase four, it's just like the teams that I have fully R9 or the teams I have fully R8, I use those teams. I don't really use other teams. Like I probably could do some Dark Side Ray, SLKR shenanigans in mixed phase. What would be the first R9, first R8 planet? That's
Yeah.
Kessel. But
Yes.
I don't know. I probably could. I haven't really had much luck with my um smorgasbord teams.
Yeah, it's funny on the Haven. I think I sent you that screenshot, right? Of Wampa and Piet on
Oh yeah.
Haven,
Well,
where I it was such a stupid bonehead move. I don't know why I marked Vader with Piet. But um when Piet, like when that died, or when Lord Vader died, where is it in here?
it's in that one, yeah. So is it at
Yeah.
the scroll at the bottom, the 20 stacks?
Yeah, 20 stacks. So he had like 20 stacks of it. So he had 100% max health, max protection, 300% offense, and 25% speed. Like, just was an obscene boost.
Like 400 speed,
And
4 or 500 speed Piet almost.
yeah, like he was just moving so quickly. 100K on the AoE and the basics. Like, it was nuts. And it was him and Wampa. Where's he at? Go. Come on. I should have just exited out to find him. Oh, he's probably above my Piet, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wampa soloed he and I shouldn't say solo. They like duoed the Haven combat mission with the brainworms and everything. The two of them just like duoed it, which was so
That's
funny.
crazy.
So that like was a huge savior. But I have been using Kylo with Dark Ray. My Kylo unmasked. Where's he at? And then I throw in there.
Oh, because you have crew R8. That's why.
Yeah, I moved him up to R8. And then I use Malik and Darth Revan in that team, and I can get into phase two and win at that point because Kylo will hit ultimate.
Interesting.
But it's
I could probably try that.
you have to, yeah, like with Malik and Revan, it's just getting fear out there. If you can get fear to kind of like keep your team alive a little bit longer, it helps a lot.
You think I get anywhere with using Malgus over crew?
Potentially, I mean, crew on that planet, crew doesn't even do the only thing I would try. I'm debating is going all in on like Hux and First Order Stormtrooper to Relic 8, and then I can get the full bonus for Ray,
I
where
would
she'd get
probably
100% max health.
I would probably rather you relegate the Sith Trooper, right? Rather than First Order
Well,
Stormtrooper, because you're not really using him with the ideal Supreme Lord Kylo Ren comp now.
I don't I was debating Sith Trooper because he's already Relic 7, so it would save me materials.
And it's for the
But
ship.
but I've been using First Order Stormtrooper a lot more than I've been using Sith Trooper with Kylo.
Really?
Yeah, for the double tank, it's almost like better on banners because then they can, let's say they like, especially against like Ahsoka, if they fracture Kylo Ren unmasked and dispel his taunt, you still have to somewhat worry about First Order Stormtrooper or vice versa.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Does he stays alive pretty well then, even at R5?
Yeah, I mean, I when I was in 5v5, obviously with my last Datacron with the 15 and 15, I think I got like 64 banners with that team. I did better with Sith Trooper in the team. It was a lot dicier. With First Order Stormtrooper, it felt so much better.
Interesting. Because that's the other, a lot
Yeah.
of people also use just first order officer. Just keep passing turns over to Kylo Ren, but
Yeah, I love I have that team set up that way. I just don't like it because he gives out bonus turn meter, which reduces Kylo's
but
it is unique.
you're also gaining way more max health, max protection from Darkseid Ray though.
Yes, I have debated. I've struggled with that internally quite a bit, but yeah. But yeah, that's like going like phase 4 of TB. That's kind of I try to more so use those on like Mandalore and Kessel and save stuff for other places.
Hmm.
I did some risky battles this time. I was pretty proud of myself. Um,
I love Sith Trooper
but
though in the Dathomir mission.
see, I don't use him on Dath. I use him in Dathomir, but I don't really. He just kind of like dies all the time.
So I feel like almost every time I do that mission, or at least before I had Darkseid Ray, it was everyone would die, but Sith Trooper and SLKR, so he will get 3 bonus turns. And
Yeah,
so ever they would kill 3 bonus turns, and then you get full alt from that basically.
yeah. I mean, that was he is really nice on some of those combats. Like that's the one nice thing with Leviathan with him being there is that it does give you a full um like you can get a full Relic 7 First Order team once you get Darkseid Ray, and then you're like set.
Yeah, because when I got Darkseid Ray, I had Hux at R6 and I just gave him R7 because I was like, I kind of want the full R7 team for Dathomir because then I don't have to put in OG Kylo and I can just kind of hit auto. Because
Yeah.
now that I have Hux, it's like you can't lose.
Yes.
It's too much passing turns and max assists. It's so
And
nice.
then the other thing, to obviously have to cover this tomorrow on my like general account update, but I improved my waves because I did Relic 9s on Drogon and R2D2 to
Now how are the
marry
Drogon
up.
mods though?
They're good enough.
Okay.
They're not great. Like I mean, I fully admit they're not the greatest with the offense, but
What's the
I did
diamond? You should definitely
Diamond is
try to put some. Sorry, that's a triangle.
yeah, it's not great. They're not he it's a travesty, but when I got him was when I got like a bunch of other stuff and I've just never been able to go back and put better
So what
mods
I'm
on
saying
him.
right now is, you know how your mod strategy is. Go trickle up some offense prime secondaries for Drogon. He's R9
Well,
now. He's one of your few R9s that isn't a
yeah. I mean, I guess I
requirement.
could maybe I rip this off of Lando.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that one. That's what is that doing on Lando?
He hits hard. It
He
just
hits
it's
hard,
just
but
been there.
like him hitting hard isn't the staple of the team, or isn't part of
I
the
mean, but here's just I'm gaining like 170 offense.
and 6 speed. What about your circle?
I have to look there. I have 3 offense on there now. Mm, Where's health? See,
What's
health is
the
I'm getting too slow at that point. I don't have a
yeah
lot of good health circles.
yeah that's fair. You definitely should enhance that mod though. The offense secondary.
Well, I don't want to calibrate it because it's already got 5 rolls of speed.
But you gotta gamble for the offense per secondary.
I gamble for my speed. I'll gamble for that. I won't gamble for anything else. But like that team there it's so nice because now like what I was doing before is like on like Kafrine, I would just be able to do like the Queen Amidala team. And now with like the Rebel team, I can do more like uh what's it called? With a full 9 Rebel team, I can do 2 more waves on like 4 more waves on Kafrine, and then that opens up me using teams elsewhere. Like it's just been it it was a team I didn't necessarily need them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
And now you
oh
can
yeah.
set Leia on defense in 3v3 and just scare your opponents with your 3R9s, right?
Well, I
Although
have three
she's,
R9s on that team. I have 3R9s on that team right now, but it's not Drogon's not a part of it.
oh yeah, because you put Fulcrum with it.
Yeah, I've got Fulcrum sitting with her right now, which is fun. But that's it's funny when I think about like how caring about TB more recently has changed the way I'm doing relics, because like I'm doing my Hut Cartel right now. So I've got Jabba and I've got Chrysanthemum. I'm doing Leia next. And then I've got to bring Lando has been Relic 6 for like the longest time. So he'll finally move up to above that. But I don't know that I'll touch Embo because I've got Boba Fett at Relic 8. So I don't need another Relic 8 Hut Cartel.
Because
I don't feel like
how
spending
much bonus does he get from his R7?
who.
Embo.
I mean, he would benefit from it. It'd definitely be worth it. It's just not in the cards right now.
How much crit chance does he have right now?
Um 90.
Okay. But he gets crit chance from his unique, I think. So
Yeah.
it's not really a huge deal. Yeah, 30%. No. Well, it's just
Well, he
Leia
has no
no protection.
protection.
I think Java might give
Yeah.
up crit chance though. Because his
But yeah,
biggest thing is always critting when after he's getting a contract. But
yeah. But it's just funny that like that's the team, because like I was thinking about like Spectre as another one that I wanted to bring to Relegate, and I will eventually. But you don't. I Hut Cartel is costing me 4 waves since we spend 2 days on Kessel, and Spectre. I don't need them for waves right now.
does your Java not solo the Kessel?
I never had him at Relic 8. He was always Relic 7.
Oh, you just gave him Relicate.
Yeah, literally just. I don't even have him Relic 7 for this GAC.
Yeah, because as someone who's had Relicate full Java team for a while, Jabba will solo that castle mission, and
Yeah, that's the.
he'll solo everything beyond that. Like you literally just need Jabba at Relicate or Relic 9.
Yeah,
Like everyone else be damned.
which is so funny. But
Although
it's
it's good having them at R8 though. It makes Jabba way
yeah, like
better.
that's yeah, I it's a team that I'm like I've been like looking at my account and I'm like, okay, I need to be a big boy now and actually make some Relegate upgrades to stuff. And it like hurts my soul.
Have you thought about the R8 JKCK yet?
No. Um I so for my Jedi, I don't know what you do on Lethal, but I can just use like JML, gas, Jedi Master, Grand, yeah, Jedi or General Kenobi,
You
Plo
don't use General
Koon.
Kenobi with QA?
No, I don't need her. I don't need him there. I do QA, Snips, Cat, and then the boys.
Oh yeah, I use Cat with JMK
Yeah, I don't
in
have
the fall.
yeah, but like that's another thing. Like Relic 8 Jedi Master Kenobi doesn't actually help my waves because I just use the Galactic Republic on like Kessel or even Mandalore at times with GRA. And you just win every single time.
Yeah, I'll admit I don't use much of GL I really should. I wanna what I really want to do is R7 my Cal Kestis so I can use him on the UFO mission
Oh,
on
yep.
Zepho because that mission is very annoying without Cat or Cal because I'm using Cat with JMK and Cal's only R5. So
Yeah, it's a I only have him Relic 7 because I initially started doing the Braca special with him instead of Jedi Knight Cal.
oh yeah. But he's
Which
also just a really good R7 though.
I honestly have been debating, like it's so awful. I was like I like stare at his Relic 8 at times and I'm like I should do this.
Well,
because of the dodge chance.
yeah, but the thing
But
is though, you're only using them in 5v5 though.
in 3v3, I use them with Seer and Malikos.
I guess, yeah, but
Again,
On Ciro Malakos, he's the last one to die. So
yeah,
it's like, does
again,
it really matter?
it's one of those things where I've got to be kind of careful right now because of the whole like lull that we're in with this new Bad Batch where there's not really a legendary that I have to work for right now since my journey guide's done. So I'm just kind of spending relic levels while I have the opportunity. And then once we get the next GL or next journey guide, I'm just cutting off all of that and going back to my
Hmm.
miser ways.
How's your signal data right now?
It's not in a good place. It's not in a good
Because
place.
now that you're caught up in everything. Now you're literally at that point where you can just spend signal data on what you want. Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's
you have nothing.
yes. Yeah. Where I literally, I think I said this in the video when I like unlocked Ahsoka that I was completely tapped on signal data after I unlocked Ahsoka and brought General Syndulla to Relic 7. That was the end of my signal data.
Wow.
So yeah, we're we're officially Fat Phil is officially tapped on signal data for the first time in eons.
But it's kind of nice with the episode pass now because that's the only thing you're tapped on.
Yes, yeah. Episode pass has been, dude, it's so nice.
Have you considered
Just
doing 200s in Cantina for just for the signal data?
I'm struggling right now because I like my crystals after all the Ahsoka stuff with Conquest going on. Um, I had to, I'm okay. I had to spend some crystals to get a Ahsoka Tano Datacron because
Oh, you didn't have one?
I, yeah, I had like I mean I literally this is so bad. I have two fulcrums. This was a fulcrum cron that I rolled to Sabine, and then and you look like I have no reroll mats, right? So I had even tried to purchase some of these. It was a mess, and then I had a CLS Ufu cron that I dismantled to get materials back, and then I it was level 9, right? Level 9 CLS. I dismantled it to build this.
Hmm.
And I got really lucky that the first it gave me the Ahsoka Tano one on the first level 9 that I did.
Bro,
So I'm
I gotta love how they just completely made the C-3PO crown useless now.
what do you
That's
mean?
because in 3v3 maybe because like in 5v5 now you just use Sana with Han and Chewie.
Yeah, I but at the same time, you could do like CLS, Chupio, C3PO, and then you still have like your if you had like Rolo or Captain Han and stuff, I mean that's good enough.
Yeah, but like I was using that crown to kill Reva. That's not gonna work now. No matter what, because now you Han and Chewie
Yeah.
stolen. That was
That
actually
Sonicron dude
it's actually really
is
funny
this
because the C3PO Cron it was the most consistent thing I had to kill Reva that wasn't a GL. Or at least when they had GI Cron, because everything else just kept getting destroyed.
yes. Oh dude, that Cron was so annoying. It was so much fun to use, but it was so annoying.
Yeah. And I didn't
But yeah,
have it,
this is
so
my I did get the Sonicron with all the level 3, 6 and 9 that you want.
yeah, I'm still waiting on level 6. I'll probably need to build another one because I'm at 80 rerolls on that.
And you know what's funny is like I have another Sana one that I'm trying to roll into Enfys Nest. I'm gonna try and roll it into Enfys Nest and then
So
re-roll like the level 6 and the level 2
that's a
or
lot
level
of
3.
armor pen. That looks really nice.
Yeah, dude, I was both of these like 98 and 86, and then this one's even crazier though, 93 and 97.
Yeah, and then you can reroll that on the other one. You can reroll the level 5 and possibly get more armor pen after you
Yeah,
get your level 6 and level 9, of course.
I struggle. The only reason I struggle with that is because I still need to build out like a Hut Cartel cron, and I'm not willing. I already spent 20 mats to get this to a Hut Cartel from Droid, so I need to get the rest of my materials out of Conquest to roll this Datacron. That's tomorrow, and then I'll have a level 9.
Yeah, I still need the Hakartel level 6. I think I have an Embocron with the wrong level 6, but
Yeah, I'm I'm really torn what Hut Cartel character I want.
I think I think you'll want Embo
That's
because
I was thinking that too, but then Mob Enforcer just like sits there and stares at me in the face.
yeah, what does Mom Forces do?
I mean, it's insane, right? So you get if Ally and the Hut Cartel, whenever they use an ability, she'll assist dealing 50% more damage. At the start of her turn, everyone's inflicted with thermal deaths and buff immunity. Whenever she attacks at a turn, she always scores a critical hit if able. So like you're against Lord Vader, that won't work. Against like Kenobi with protection up, that doesn't work. Against Malicos, just naming a couple of things.
You'll crit
Um,
Leia though,
yes.
because Leia never gets crit. But
When an enemy critically hits Mob Enforcer, that enemy is inflicted with a stack of thermal detonator, which can't be evaded or resisted.
hmm,
And then that Hut Cartel level 6 is the whole gaining offense when you take damage from a thermal detonator. When you're inflicted, they're immune to health and protection recovery. When you use a basic during their turn, you gain turn meter. Like
hmm.
the the whole offense when you take damage from a thermal detonator, if you've got like 10 on Leia or something and you explode them, like that's just gonna it's crazy. But I also think I go back to it like Mob Enforcers is I think Mob Enforcers is technically better than Embo's, but I feel like Embo is also really nice because like I would not put Skiffguard Lando inside of the Hot Cartel team. I would still use Embo.
Yeah, that's the thing. Another part that sucks is that you won't use either of them in 3v3.
Correct. That's the whole problem with that. Like, there's no Leia. There's no like. You're not going to replace any of these guys in that team.
Yeah, I it'd be interesting though to see how well the Gamorrean Guard one plays though, because if it can get to a point where you can take Chrysanthemum out and what throw him with Afra maybe, that could. Although, no, I'm taking that back because Afra has HK Kron. HK Kron
Yeah,
is gonna destroy things.
yeah.
Basically,
I get.
basically HK is Darth Revan now.
Yeah, I get. I am worried about HK versus BT1 because I think BT1 is both. I feel like both of those are really good.
Yeah, but the thing with the HK Kron is really providing is a legitimate control because Afra
But
doesn't have that really.
how many teams are immune to fear though? I guess that's a good question to ask.
Leia, Jabba,
Yeah,
Ahsoka.
so like what are you going to use like I guess
Although,
I'm thinking of it more from I'm going to try and use Afra to beat Jabba in 5v5, that fear mechanic. The only thing that it's really I'd say the biggest thing that's going to allow you to do is um start evasion down. So that's nice. But whenever HK uses this, he inflicts ability block. And I feel like that's going to be the best move there because whenever they're inflicted with burning or torture, his cooldowns are reset, and BT1 is burning, and um
oh, interesting.
trips trips has torture. So that's
Well,
where you can spam his AoE or you can spam the assassination protocol.
but
And
also
either way,
if
you're juicing
mhm.
turn meter for your
Yeah,
team.
but also if you have B2 against Jabba, they won't have their buff that makes them immune to fear. And then you
Oh,
can
that's
fear them.
right. Okay, so
Although I think
remember,
Bausch is immune to fear always though.
remember, I don't have B2 at relics.
And remember, it takes you 2 seconds to relic 3 him.
I actually don't know if I have the signal data to
You
relic.
you you
I
have
might.
I think you
I might.
had just enough. I think you should do it right now.
No. Because
Okay,
I like
but
I'm not going to use them in 3v. I'm not going to
yeah,
use them in
that's
3v3.
true. But like
There's no point.
that team, it's gonna feel like we have Africron back. With
Yes. I
HK, B and B2 with the HK Cron, like you'll have AoE fear, and then every single time HK takes a turn, he's spamming debuffs.
yeah.
And so you're actually
Which
getting
is
a lot of siphon.
yes. Which I need to talk that like I want to get this out here. Afra is, I think, criminally underrated. Like, there's always lately they've really tried to always have some sort of level 3, 6, or 9 that's benefiting her. I feel like there's something around there to make sure that she's actually good,
Yeah, like
right?
in the last set, it was the with the term with
Dengar.
well Dengar, and then there's the if you have the Terminator level 3, and then if you give them potency stats, all of a sudden
Yes.
she's passing a lot of offense first turn,
Yes.
and then B2
Like
is
I
just one-shotting someone with his AoE, or not
because
B
I've said
B2
this before,
B21.
because we said this before even that, like, yes, Star Killer is significantly better in the standpoint that without Datacrons, he beats like Ray. Although
Yeah,
right now he's not because, you know, Ezra Bridger Exile exists and that just kind of stops him completely. Um,
but then he just goes and says hi Malicos in 3v3.
yeah. Well, but I still am not. I didn't do that. I kind of pussied out this GAC. I did that battle. I just used my Kylo, Ray, and Kylo Ren on mass because I just wasn't willing to risk losing Star Killer.
Yeah.
But you know, I like without his Omicrons, this dude is nothing. That's what, I think Arnold even brought up that point that the whole, what was that? The Datacron was like, um, whenever an
Yeah,
ally uses an ability, he assists, and it was dealing less damage, wasn't it? Or was it
it's
dealing more?
50% more damage.
So even if you just said, whenever an ally uses an ability, he assists, I don't think I hate that. Now, because the Omicron is the whole, um,
The biggest thing is the debuff enemies deal 50% less damage. That
yes,
and this assisting is the biggest thing with his Omicrons.
yes. Yeah, he deals 20% less when a Sith ally uses a basic ability. So if you said, hey, whenever a Sith ally uses a basic, he assists dealing less, but whenever an ally uses an ability, he assists with no damage penalty or something, he would be unreal.
Or let's say he assists with 90% less damage. So
I don't know about
he's just getting the ultimate. He's not actually dealing any damage.
yeah, that's a good that might be a little bit more balanced or like 50% less damage. Enough of a there should be some sort of penalty because if it's 100% damage, he's just going to destroy people.
Oh yeah, like he did with his Datacron.
Yeah. But it is interesting that I think they are trying to like to give them some credit with the Datacrons lately. I feel like they have made some like obviously you're always going to have one of those Star Killer or Malicos types where those always come back, GI Cron, but they are, I feel like, trying to give some characters like the Fulcrum and the Dengar and Sana and HK some more really, really good, powerful crons. And they deserve credit that it's not just like this is the Sana team, that you're not really using Sana with the Sana team. You're throwing her with a bunch of other characters to do what you need to do.
It's gonna be kind of funny because we're gonna have the weird paradigm of there's Jabba with his crown, there's Sana with his crown, and there's Afro with his crown. And it's like, who do you choose? Do you put Jabba on defense and let Sana and Afro roll over, or do you put Jabba on defense and have him hold because he has OP Datacron?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we're just gonna see, well, I'm just gonna take Jabba on offense. Because like that's when we had Bauschkron, it was like, well, it's really good on offense against Leia, so let's just take it on offense because I think did we had Afra during that time? I forget. Last time we had the
Oh,
Bauschkron.
I I don't remember off the top of my head. That's a good question.
Because that was like around Leia release. Oh yeah, because that was the Drogonkron.
That's right. It was the Jabba versus Drogon Kron
Yeah.
that like you gave up Jabba, you put Jabba on defense to kind of just get eaten by Drogon for a while.
Yeah. I wonder everything that Afro will kill with HK Kron though. Because I'm feeling like
Yeah,
she's gonna kill a lot of non-GL teams too with the AoE fear.
yeah, because she will. The biggest thing with Doctor Afra that she struggles with is turn me is that again like she needs that turn like she needs some sort of turn meter mechanic, which is why the 15 on a special is so helpful.
Well, but she does though. Whenever you inflict a debuff, you gain 5% turn meter, I want to say.
But that's still not. and it's not enough.
Yeah,
Like
it's not.
Sith Eternal, Palpatine gets like 20% per debuff.
Yeah, but then they combine it with their glass cannon, high damage, and it works out to be a pretty. It's basically a half shit Terminator train when it comes down to it.
Yeah, whenever Dr. Aphra inflicted debuff or are critically hit, they gain 10% turn meter.
Okay, so it's decent.
So yeah, it's just not fantastic. 'Cause they don't have outside of her, she doesn't have a ton of AoE debuffs. Like Trip Zero doesn't have a single AoE.
BT does with
BT1
his burning,
has,
where he'll bonus
yes,
run
his
after that.
burning. And I don't think the missiles, these don't
I don't think they
or no,
did any debuffs. That's in the second unique, I think.
um no,
No,
not that one. It's kill them all.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I love
Um
his ability names.
yeah, homicidal counterpart, blast him. Yeah,
Agent
he's
of all
so
destruction.
yeah, agent of destruction.
He had a lot of fun naming him.
Yeah, it's I just think they need a little bit more turn meter in that team. And that's why I think that 15 on special is so ridiculous.
Yeah, and then mix that with the AoE fear where you don't need as much turn meter because their opponent is skipping turns.
And he's going to gain 15%, 15 speed for each droid or scoundrel.
Oh wow,
So,
that's also really big.
yeah, so you figure for him, if you're running that with, hold on, was that each or
I think it's each other.
no,
No,
each?
each. So that's what, 65 speed? No, not 75.
Well, so he'll gain 15 from himself because he's droid. He'll gain 30 from BT1,
Oh yeah, 'cause he's
right? Because
droid
he's a
and scoundrel.
scoundrel. So there's 45. He'll gain 75 from get to 75 with trip zero.
Hmm.
And then he'll gain another, he'll get like 105 speed from that Datacron.
Wow. And what's his speed?
So
So
he's pretty slow. He's like 130 speed. So, he's going to be a lot faster. And I have terrible mods on him to begin with, but still,
I mean,
you
here's the
know,
thing, like he's not getting a damage boost from his Kron. It's mostly just the mechanics. So I almost wonder you just throw him a speed set. You make him
yeah, it's a
400
guy.
speed at the start of battle. Basically, he probably could be almost 400 speed. And now
Yes.
he's just a major
Uh,
threat.
well, he's only going to gain 13 speed from a speed set. So it's not that much more.
Yeah, but let's say you
It's
give
still
him,
13 speed, but it's not
yeah,
like you know, it's not like Echo or Moff Gideon.
yeah, because you also probably want him tanky as well, so he stays alive, and he's making use of self-reconstruction to stay alive longer.
Yeah. But even then, he's also gaining when a droid ally falls below 40% health, they gain damage immunity for 2 turns. So I mean, even then, like, and the nice thing there
That
is
can't
that
be
if you have like
dispelled.
thermal, yeah. So if he gains damage immunity from like Jabba with thermal detonators on him, that's 2 turns. So they can try to blow him up and everything, and they go away. They don't, so he's gonna sit there in that damage immunity, and you could be exploding them, whatever else, and it doesn't matter. It won't do anything.
Which droids stun a lot that they could use?
Um, where does it say stun?
At the bottom
When
of
an
the level
enemy is
6.
stunned by droids. So that's a good General Grievous can stun on um the one special.
And then Magna Guard, I
R
think.
R2D2 can stun
But he's light
on
side
his
droid.
basic.
She needs dark side droids.
I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, Magna. Um
that's it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Unless does Trips have something?
No, he doesn't. He shocks and tortures, I think.
Yeah. If the enemy if the enemy is a non-droid and was already inflicted with shock, stun them for 1 turn instead.
Oh, interesting. Oh, because it probably happens a lot against Java, but they dispel the stun instantly, so you never think
Yeah,
of
you
them
never.
having stunned.
Yes.
Interesting.
But the question is with that cron, does it
Oh, so now
whenever an
you
enemy is
basically just get a free recovery from
yeah, so you're gonna get the health and gain 10 speed stacking. Jeez Louise.
400 speed HK.
That's crazy.
And then he's every single turn, basically he's going to be AoEing
Yes. So mass
because he gets
fears,
his
mass everything.
cooldowns reset, right? Yeah, burning and torture.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes.
And that also means his
And
big hit is going to be reset all the time.
yeah, and also just looking through this, like he's gonna inflict evasion down, which can't be resisted. So you think against like the smuggler cron where they're gaining 100% evasion and evasion down's getting inflicted
Well, so there's Mothercron, it's 100% evasion while they're not
while they're not
debuffed.
debuffed.
But that
Yeah,
ability
that's
can't
right.
be resisted. It says can't be resisted, but it doesn't not say it can't be evaded.
Well, but
So
that's it. But it's a debuff, so it's not an attack.
yeah, but a lot of debuffs, not a lot of abilities with debuffs can be evaded. It's kind of like spaghetti code where some of them can, some of them can't. It's kind of the luck of the draw. Because I know like
Yeah,
Cal Kestis debuffs can be evaded, and but like
yeah,
others like Moff Tarkin it doesn't say can't be evaded, but they can't be evaded.
yeah. Like Nihilus doesn't have any debuffs. Start of his turn, inflict damage over time for 2 turns of random. It doesn't have any debuffs,
Well,
so
but
it
that
doesn't
all
say that.
yeah.
I'm just curious if that's what they're going after there. But again, that doesn't even say it can't be evaded or resisted or anything
Yeah,
else.
how many times do we face a team that has 100% evasion on everyone?
Yeah,
So like
seriously.
we can't really it's hard to test if that actually can't be
Yeah,
evaded.
you test it and you let me know.
Yeah. Because we're gonna see Sonicron on defense a lot. Oh my God, that's gonna be
Yes,
terrible.
I think in I said it on defense for 3v3.
Oh really? Yeah,
Yeah, I just wasn't.
I forgot to lock in with it.
I wasn't trying. I think my thing was I was like, okay, I'm just looking at something. I was like, yeah, I just don't. It'll eat up your Darth Revan, and I'll move on with my life, kind of thing.
Yeah, because at this point it's gonna feel like how what was it? The Chirrutcron,
Yeah,
where there's so much damage, it's so much survivability, but it just doesn't know the team on offense. I'd rather it just be an annoying as heck defense team on defense.
yep,
Because whatever they use, they're gonna get someone nuked at the beginning of at the beginning of the when Han takes his bonus turn. He's probably gonna nuke someone because they get so much damage. And
yeah,
then assuming they keep their turn meter train, it's like, well, shoot, there goes that
yeah. Like
counter.
I'm kind of hoping that it just will trip some players up. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I like for like 3v3 GAC, especially the first week, I can never care when there's a new Datacron set because like I didn't even have all of these at lock in, right?
Yeah,
So
just the
like
one Sonicron, or
I had one Sonicron, the other one was a dash. This one was dash, and then I didn't have these ones.
did you have the HK Cron?
I did have HK Cron, but it wasn't the level 3 wasn't the turn meter.
Yeah, but you won't use that in 33 though.
Well, I would use it. I'd use the 15% turn meter with Dr. Afra against Jabba.
Yeah, but not the HK Cron. I hate it
Yeah,
when they make
not the
crons that
HK.
only work in 5v5.
Which, yeah, that's a good, I don't know, that's a fair point to make that it definitely feels like there's certain Datacrons that they're kind of designing for specific, I don't know. And maybe that's coming from the like first world problems, that we're like 12 million GP. So it's a like 5v5 only Datacron, but like Lando, if you set this with like Wedge, Biggs, and Lando at like 5 million GP, you are going to stop people because they're not going to recognize how good that team is.
Yeah, they're not gonna notice, oh wait, Lando just that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. And Riposte too, which you get the Biggs assist kind of thing like that. The Wedge Biggs Lando was one of my favorite metas because it was just so obscenely ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's other things like even the Fulcrum Con, like outside of like putting her with Leia, it's definitely much better in 5v5 than it is in 3v3.
Yes.
Because in 3v3,
Especially
you're taking more from teams by putting on defense. Even with Leia, I would argue Drogon might be better, but only because but on but only the only reason it's working is because people don't know how to counter that.
or yeah, you're trying to bait I'm trying to bait out my opponent's Bane.
Yeah,
Bane and
exactly.
Sith Eternal to go battle that team.
And then she's just gonna destroy Bit.
Yeah. Or well,
Well,
so
probably
if
not.
you're yeah, it depends on because they're going to be able to go first and they'll be able to link. So you have to link her.
Well, I wonder, because hmm, will she put stealth on Fulcrum or R2? Will Leia?
It won't matter because Sith Eternal and Bane gets to go first, and I think Sith Eternal
Oh
will still be
yeah.
able to go first too.
Oh yeah, because Bano uses AoE and past turn meters eternal. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have Bane on my one account and then my other account I don't play that anymore, so I never think of using Bane and Sith Eternal together.
It's honestly like remove 50%
It's
turn
the best
meter.
team in the game.
Yeah, it's I now it's funny. I need to like eat my words. I use Bane and Sith Eternal with each other a lot more than I initially did.
Yeah, well, because Bane's thing is like, yeah, it's really nice. It does a lot, but Bane with Sith Eternal, it beats things and it's 100% guaranteed. Like you don't lose
Yes.
that battle. Like with Bane lead, you can lose sometimes. Sometimes they'll take too many turns. They'll have too much foresight.
Leia's ultimate comes in and destroys you. Like,
Yeah, or because you didn't ramp enough fast enough.
yeah,
But with Bane and Sith Eternal, you just don't
it's
have that
impossible.
problem. Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah. It's if you and that's the other thing with like Galactic Legend Ahsoka and like 3v3, like Sith Eternal plus Bane, if you put Fulcrum with her, it's an automatic win because you're ignoring taunt. You're gonna link up Ahsoka and whoever else is in that team, and then they can't critically hit you, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Ahsoka's not doing any damage anyways.
Correct. But I didn't even set my Ahsoka on defense.
Really?
No, I kept her for I because I put Ezra Bridger still with Rey. And so I saw that Bo-Katan Mandalore can beat Ahsoka with Fulcrum Kron on defense without I don't know if it works with Ezra, but without Ezra, it 100% works. At least according to GG, I pulled it off. Now my opponent only had I can show you a couple of the attacks I did. Um they had
Oh, I still need to do my fleets. I need to go back into my fleets, don't I?
but my opponent set this one down here with Fulcrum, Sabine, but it was only Relic 4 and no ultimate. But it was easy. Like Fulcrum never got close to killing anybody.
With Bo-Katan or
Yeah, with Bo-Katan, Paz, and IG-12 and Grogu.
interesting. Because I
Yeah.
had my Bo-Katan this first GAC, although I didn't apply any GAC armies yet. I did now. I have her leader and unique, but I think I just used them on what was that? Let me look.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't equip the special either.
Oh yeah, I used her on Lutheran because I was like, there's only a few GLs on defense. It's not a hard wall. And I don't know what GL she kills because I haven't researched it and I haven't used her and I don't have GC armies. And there wasn't Lord Vader. So I'm like,
Yeah.
she probably kills Luthen. I'm gonna say she killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paz
She's
hits pretty
honestly
hard. It's kind of funny actually.
I struggle with my modding on Paz of if I should throw more offense on him than I have. I don't have much offense on him.
Yeah, mine is mostly just health percent or health primaries with all my with a bunch of good with decent defense secondaries.
Yeah. Defense I don't even want to say I have decent defense secondaries. I've got
You have really good
my
defense
lowest
secondaries.
my lowest one is 7%.
Yeah. What do I have on mine? I have what? 10%. Okay, mine aren't bad. 10%, 10%, 9%, 9%. Okay, so he has some decent defense
I'm at
secondaries.
I'm at 11, 7, 14, 14. and 13.
What's his health stat?
132.
Mine's 138 because I have a square with 7% health. That's why.
Yeah, mine's only uh yeah, I don't have a lot of extra
And
health.
then
I do
the diamond has
have
6%. So
on my cross and my circle, I am getting an extra like almost 8.5% offense just from the secondary stats.
mm,
So
I
I do
gotta
have
do.
a little bit extra offense. But he's one of those that damage is really sneaky. But I am extremely impressed with how resilient he is.
Yeah, actually.
Because I mean, he gains a ton. Like start a battle, he gains 10% defense and max health for each other Mandalorian ally, and 15% defense and max health for each other light side Mandalorian ally. So just going off of that, he's gaining 25% defense and max health. It's 100% max health and defense. So you could argue that you shouldn't really put any extra on him and go with the offense percent. But I have found, especially in the last Datacron set, I was watching a lot of players fail or like lose characters against my Lord Vader with Bo Katan, or even fail against Lord Vader with Bo Katan. And I guarantee it was because Paz was dying.
Mhm. Um, Phil, I have a question. So I just did the math. I saved fleets for last. I have to average 71 banners for each fleet. They said
Ooh, fun.
Finalizer, Negotiator, No Marauder, and Profundity. How consistent is a Scythe three-man against Profundity?
No.
Because I have
You
Leviathan, Profundity, Scythe, and Negotiator on offense. What's the highest banners against Profundity?
you're Leviathan.
It even at six
If you
star?
I would still say Leviathan against that should win.
Could I three-man?
No, I would not. You can get if you win on fleets with a full team of Leviathan ships, you're gonna get.
So skip Scimitar.
I would, yeah. I mean, you could do, yeah. You don't. I would almost bring in Scimitar just to be safe. Like you don't, because you don't. Sith Assassin does nothing for you,
Yeah.
so you bring in Scimitar as your first reinforcement. Mark 6 is your second. That's a 75 banner win, I think.
Oh, really?
I think that's 75 if you as long as you don't lose any ships, full health and protection, that's 75 banners.
Because what's the max? Yeah, max 79. And then I what? Negotiator on Finalizer and Profundity on Negotiator?
Yeah. And profundity, like what star level is your profundity?
7. Yeah. It
Okay.
shouldn't have a problem
So
against Negotiator with no Marauder.
yeah, and you can potentially like I would do that battle last because I've done the 3-man profundity against negotiator plenty of times.
Okay.
But if you don't need to do it, there's no reason to. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
I try to save when I attack fleets, especially fleets, I try to think about which one is the most problematic if I lose it. Because the other thing you could do, and I don't know if you're not confident in your Leviathan against a 6-star profundity, you could always do
Well, it's a 7-star Profundity. I have a 6-star Leviathan.
yeah, so but if you're not confident in your Leviathan to beat their profundity, you could just do your profundity with TIE Bomber.
Yeah, but then there's a chance that I lose my Rebel Y-Wing before I get TIE Bomber out. If they get good RNG on the opening. And then I'm losing banners as well.
Yeah, but you would still, if you just bring TIE Bomber as your other reinforcement, I should say I doubt you lose, but it's possible.
But then where am I
There's always
using?
a chance.
Yeah, but then I have the issue of am I using Empire on Negotiator or Leviathan? Because both of those are not good banners wins against Negotiator. Like
Well,
I don't think Leviathan does very good against Negotiator banners wise.
it's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that.
Because I know Negotiator can nuke out Leviathan pretty well if they get good if they have the so it's an interesting question of how good banners will you get on the reverse, but. I'm overthinking this, and I just need to mirror Profundity and then just get Max Barons and everything else. But because they didn't set a hard
Yeah, I
defense.
mean, you're getting like I think the average I'm seeing with a two-man Leviathan against
Oh, a
a
two-man Leviathan?
negotiator, or sorry, like with a two reinforcements,
Okay.
I'm seeing like 70 banners on average, but that's with Marauder starting.
Yeah, because they have BTL and JK.
They don't have, do they have a Marauder at all?
Uh, I'm assuming so. Let me check. Oh, oops.
Like GG doesn't even have uh an option of Marauder not starting.
That's hilarious. They have six-star Marauder.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't start it, but
I don't know why you
it's
would
just
have
me.
six-star Marauder.
They have a good they have Lord Vader, like they have a good Bad Batch.
Yeah. They also
Jeez
have a
Louise.
four-star Echelon, so and four-star Star Fortress. So I guess they just don't like farming ships.
Jeez
Because
Louise.
the only ship I don't have seven-star is just the punishing one and then Ravensclaw because Ravensclaw is useless and I do it every once in a while when I feel like it. It's favorited, but
I have I'm I've got all of them 7 star.
nice. How much were you refreshing punishing one?
Um one extra refresh a day.
Okay. Yeah,
But yeah,
should have been. It wasn't really.
it's yeah, I mean it's one of those where I don't think the difference between like 6 star and 7 star is massive. Like it's more of a functionality type ship than a
It's
it's
a
gonna lose to what it's gonna lose to.
yeah, but it's a function of some counters can nuke it out in the opening and some can't. Like I know using Scythe against the punishing one, if they have a seven-star, they have higher relics, it becomes a lot harder because you can't nuke it out in the opening.
Yeah, I've been debating that might be a character I have to bring up to Relic 7 just because of the ship, which kind
Yeah.
of is unfortunate.
Because how high? Because you what? How high are Bam and Cad Bane?
Bam is 7, Bane is I think 6.
Okay.
I haven't done much with I really tried to keep my pilots. It's kind of funny. I always this is like a very big point of like piss me off. I've always tried to keep my pilots lower GP or like lower relics because I just don't it doesn't stop counters. Like especially in a mirror match, it doesn't stop anything. Like even the Sith
I will
assassin
say
ship.
though, I will say Executor is the one foot in the game where higher relics does change some matchups.
Yes, I would agree with that. I just have been so lazy over the years that it's not I can get away with it.
Yeah, because like a full Relic 9 punishing one Executor, that's like yeah, you're not killing that. Not today,
Yeah.
not next week. You're throwing three fleets of that to kill it if you at the most. Like unless you get lucky on RNG or something, but that just sounds like such a headache because they're hitting so hard. They're all so fast. They're all so tanky.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because like, what would you
But
use against punishing one if you see it on defense?
oh, I use my Leviathan. I mean, I just use Leviathan right now.
That's fair.
I've done I have done the endurance and negotiator counters when I have to. I
Yeah,
just
but
don't.
like, if someone at R8's R9, that's boxing on negotiator.
Yeah. But that's I don't know. I have a bone to pick with CG over the whole punishing one thing because I feel like they made it too good. That it kind of upset. I felt there was a legitimate before punishing one. There was a legitimate balance between Leviathan, Executor, and Profundity.
Yeah,
That like very clearly Leviathan was the best fleet, very clearly, and Profundity was very clearly the second best fleet. Like overall, for what it could do, Profundity was the second best fleet, but comparative to Executor.
yeah. But I don't hate the way it is now.
I do because it ruined Leviathan mirror matches completely. It
For a little
then
bit though, they fixed it.
no, it's still stupid. It's still stupid. There's no like you're like, oh, relegate your Sith trooper. Like, why? He's like Ty Dagger doesn't. There's no. that is an unlosable mirror match
Yeah,
on offense.
it's very stupid, but it's very it creates an interesting situation because now you have Leviathan Executor are now they do everything for you.
But I'm going off of it. If crystals weren't in Fleet Arena, I would agree with you. But because crystals are in Fleet Arena, I think it's beyond stupid.
Hmm.
Like
I don't see that because
because
for
there's no point. Like if you're a whale and you wailed to make your Sith Assassin Relic 9, you wailed to make your Fleet Relic 9,
yeah, I
I'm
forgot.
never going to lose to you simply because I'll call in my ship first.
Yeah, that part is stupid, but it is definitely handy because now placing first in arena is now you hit buttons. You literally just hit buttons for a few turns and then you hit auto.
But again, I don't know. To me, it all comes back to the one my biggest bone to pick with CG over the years has been the removal of skill.
Yeah,
And
that is definitely low skill now.
yeah. And that was something that I held over like there's some guys in my fleet shard that I really like. There's a bunch who I think are just trash players. And the advantage I always had over them was I knew counters and I was able to pull them off. And now that just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And so like there was a time where I legitimately wasn't having to do battles, not because I had a high relic Leviathan, but because I could beat the other high relic ones.
So I have a question. The guy at third, does he have Leviathan? Or is he just
No,
climbing profundity?
yeah, he just climbs with his profundity, and I think he does have punish. He's got punishing one at 6 stars now.
Because
So
climbing with profundity on Leviathan is now so much more annoying because it was Dagger was always the more annoying matchup because they call it the insta kill. And you have to play
yep,
it. You actually have to play it very skillfully.
yes,
With
yeah,
so
I
now
he
profundity is just it doesn't kill Executor consistently or almost at all. It doesn't really kill Leviathan as well.
yep.
Profundity just sucks
I
now.
I help him out. He his payouts after mine, and I will never hit him. Like I've even done extra battles so that way I don't hit him
Mhm.
because like I said, my fleet chart is trash. They will just target him. I get it, like oh, I want to do the easy battle, but like you should be able to climb on other leviathans, guys. Like it's not that hard. I don't know. That's the I always view it as like he doesn't cause problems for me. He doesn't cause problems for other people. He's just trying to climb up during his payout. Like leave him alone.
Yeah, so I just have two people in my fleet arena that I avoid because most people aren't in the shard. And so basically I just click on the highest one I can climb to, and if it's not them, I'll refresh and choose the one below it. Or
Yeah.
if it's one of them.
Yeah, I there's the one thing that's always been a little bit annoying is like Ultras, Bane, Mara Jade, and Killa here all have the exact same payout. And then it's
Oh,
an hour
really?
later is this guy. And so they would for a while, it was miserable. If you found yourself in like first, which just happened to me like a bunch of times, I'd go from first to like 18th because
Oh
they
my
would just
gosh.
all be in a line because that was like how they would end up falling. And like I was so frustrating for a while because it was like they didn't have to do it. That's just what they would do. I felt targeted for the longest
Yeah,
time.
and
And it was so,
you would climb with profundity for the longest time too.
yes, but it is what it is. You know, we're all, I think, I will say everybody does stick, like at least in the shard, everybody sticks to their payout. Nobody kind of climbs outside of it. There's a couple of annoying players, but nobody that's like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid I'm not going to get my payout.
Mhm. So nowadays, how low do you usually drop?
Um, I can't remember the last time I had to do more than 3 battles in a day.
Okay.
Normally
Yeah.
I think it's happened a couple times, but it's not often.
So my annoying thing is when my pay happens, I'm at work. So it's basically hit or miss whether I actually have time to climb, which I don't doesn't bother
Oof.
me that much. It's whatever. But right now I'm at 19 because I didn't climb yesterday. So my shard is semi-active, which is it's just annoying.
Yeah,
Like
my
on my alt, I don't drop past 10th.
yeah.
And that
But
was
that's
well, that was back when I was climbing with executors. But so now I just can't beat Leviathan on that account.
well, do you know what's kind of like what's like kind of like I'm gonna say pissing me off, but like what's getting gonna be annoying is there used to be a couple of like this guy here. He's got a 6-star Leviathan, right? 10 million GP, like fine. But you're gonna get players who have a lot less galactic power getting Leviathan, right? Which is fine. But normally there was another fleet that would kind of take over that those guys who spent all the money or the whales could whale on, and we'd have that by now to kind of counteract Leviathan. Like that's why I'm wondering if they're getting ready to yank crystals out of Fleet Arena because we haven't gotten a new fleet.
Yeah, because I can climb to first every day with my 6-star Leviathan. And
Yes.
I auto every
And
single I nearly auto every single battle.
right. Like that's the and that's a problem at so many levels. And that's why I'm wondering if
Problem
the
I
whole
don't
change
mind
with
it though, because I would
that's
rather
but
save 5,000 crystals than not rushing to 7 stars.
but that's why I'm wondering with like these ships here, like with the whole like executor, is if they're trying to if they remove those crystals, it makes sense for Leviathan and Executor to be like head and shoulders above. That you'd want a little bit more. You don't want one fleet to rule everything.
Yeah.
Um,
What I'm really what I think they'll do because they set themselves up perfectly for it. They nerfed Profanity. They made Executor. Oh, nice. They made
yeah,
Executor and Leviathan way better. They're set themselves up really perfectly for a new ship for Profanity.
yes, I do
What
believe it.
I
I
think the best I think they could do, I don't know what they want to say. Obviously, everyone wants Red 5. Give it some sort of ability so it gets called out first turn because it reduces the cooldown. Profanity goes right away. You keep your opening trio because that's just what always has made sense, and you call on the next ship first turn Profanity because Profanity always goes first,
yes
and then it's it could be whatever. But I think the best way for them to do it would be on offense. It always calls out on offense. It's a or how do I say this? So the ship has turn
on
one instant.
defense.
On defense, it never calls a ship out. It's low priority unless it's the only. Well, that could be an issue though. This might not work, but let's say this. It's a one turn. It's a insta kill. You insta kill TIE Bomber. You insta kill Punishing One. Now all these ships are on the same playing field. But the issue I can see with that is then you can just set only that ship on defense, and then all of a sudden you can't kill Profanity anymore.
Yeah, there needs to be, and I'm wondering, like that's what we saw with Punishing One, though, right? We're so far. That's why I think like you can't. Even, I don't even want a new fleet because what it would take to make that fleet competitive or to make it head and shoulders above Profundity and Executor is so insane,
Yeah, and if they make the new
right? It's
fleet,
so insane.
well, here's the thing that they'll make the new fleet. Profundity is going to destroy it day one because that's how it's always been. And then they're going to buff the heck out of it. And now Profundity is just on the bottom of the totem pole again.
Yes, like Profundity. The one thing I give Profundity credit for is that from an off meta counter perspective, it is one of the harder ships to off meta counter.
Yeah, it's the JMK
For
of fleets.
like you think even with the like your scythe, that team can there is sometimes where that does go haywire. Like that's not 100% success rate.
Yeah.
There's enough of a chance that it's kind of dicey. Obviously Leviathan Executor have no problems. The mirror match is pretty doable, but like First Order never has a chance. Resistance maybe, I don't know. I've never really done
I
that,
I've
but
seen Resistance kill them with
but
ton
it's
tokens.
it's just a very tough ship to kill. Sorry, I'm just curious if my opponent is doing anything
Yeah, and
else.
there's an obscene amount of healing as well, which makes it more annoying. Obscene amount of healing,
Yes.
they can't be crit, and you don't have any turn meter.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. The no turn meter just destroys so many different fleets.
Yeah, that's the same thing with JMK. Why
Yeah.
he's so hard to off meta because the biggest thing is a no turn meter.
Yeah. Which is funny now because we did get like you got Balin now, which just decimates Kenobi.
Yeah, but it's
And
like
it's
using Balin on Kenobi, I wouldn't really consider that off meta because he's like
I,
he's In GAC, he's one of the top teams.
Yeah, but it's still not a, I don't know. It's still a non GL, right? It's still not a Galactic Legend.
Yeah,
Like,
but at this point, how much does the term GL even mean? Because would you put without Bane, would you put C at the same level of some of these non-GL teams? No.
oh, absolutely no way.
Would you put
That's always been my argument against him.
like would you put Lord Vader, JML, SOKR without Darkseid Ray, like and C without Bane? These teams are not like they're barely off meta level.
I mean, I don't know that I put Lord Vader there. I put Lord Vader in a different category
Lord
because
Vader is,
I
is slightly above.
because he the what you got to give Lord Vader credit for is that all the people who say he's trash, most of them have never actually faced him, so they wouldn't know that their bounty hunters aren't good enough to beat that team.
Yes.
And I think a lot of the Lord Vader problems is that I think when he was designed, I'd argue the one thing CG didn't account for was the, how do I say this without sounding like, too, I think they just didn't account for the making a team that's completely based around being so tanky that they're like trying to just make him impossible to kill, but you didn't put enough offense on him that he's not a threat until it's too late.
Yeah. And then also they're like one of the only GLs now that isn't immune to insta kills.
Yeah.
There's all these GLs now, like Ray. Well, I guess no, not that many. But all these new teams now are immune to insta kills, and Lord Vader isn't. Like his entire team
Yep.
just get insta killed. Like that's what we had the Bokron.
Yeah, yes.
One
And the
turn.
other side of that too is the AI is idiotic. Like Maul does not always target Commander Tano with his cooldown increase.
Yeah.
Like there's some very
And
distinct
even if he
problems with
even if
that.
he did, you would just okay, so wait an extra turn to give her coolant reset. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like if there needs, and I feel like that was the problem, was he was designed to like counter Kenobi, but they made Kenobi too good to be countered.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love Lord Vader. I wish they would do something for him.
Yeah.
Give him a Bane. But let me ask you this. While we're talking about like, on the topic of GLs and stuff, and with Ahsoka now, like I'm getting the feeling that this is going to be one of the, like, she to me is a territory war GL.
Really.
Now,
I,
I
I haven't faced her in Territory Wars. I don't really know
oh
how. Well, I haven't faced her with her
it's
armies in Territory Wars. I've killed her all the time, but
here. Let me show you. Oh, it's not there anymore, darn it. Um my guild put over, we finally cleared it. It took us forever, but it took us over like 50 battles to get through an Omicron Ahsoka Tano team.
oh, one team
Like one
does
Ahsoka Tano with the Hera, Sabine, her Datacron, it was like 50 teams. Now, I mean,
does,
we were just throwing stuff at it, but
does
it
Leia
is
not not
just,
not not kill it?
well, our defensive strategy did not help us to kill her.
Ah, I see.
But it
Can't
still
can't.
was one of those things where it's so good on defense because like I kind of compare it to the to Lord Vader in that regard, that the AI doesn't really make, I want to say they don't make mistakes, but there's not a lot of room for error in this team.
Yeah, it's similar to Leviathan. You just hit buttons
Yes.
and win. You don't have to think
Yes.
about there. It's zero skill. Like
Yeah.
there's a,
And
there's no bad abilities in that team. You just kind of hit buttons.
yes. And I
But
think it's good for the general player base on defense, but it does suck because you're like, this is stupid.
yeah, this team is still riddled with like 50,000 bugs.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm wondering if they're waiting for her cron to go away before they fix the bugs.
Mhm. Did you
Because I think
see?
her data.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
Well, it's funny too because there's even stuff with like I don't think they even address Darkseid Ray's bug either with her assist calling assist when it shouldn't be.
Yep.
Because I've seen it call against it's funny, I've seen it call against Bausch, but yesterday when I did it, it didn't call against Bausch. I've seen it call against obviously Ezra.
Yep. I've seen it called against him.
I haven't seen it tested if it calls against Darth Revan yet. And I'm not sure how many other assist prevention abilities we have in the game.
Yeah, I know for sure Revan, Ezra, and
Bausch.
the whole Bausch thing. Yeah, Boosh, Bausch, Coors Light, Leia.
But yeah.
But that's I'm okay with if they would just flat out. This is where like I get annoyed, and it's not Meathead's fault, guys. Let's be very clear on that. That's not Meathead's. Like Meathead is he's like the mouth of Sauron. You can't get mad at the mouth of Sauron for being the mouth of Sauron.
Yeah, all he
Like
has to do is just all that he can do is say what they tell him to say and
yes,
answer a question with a vague answer. Sometimes he can go ask his superior, say, "Hey, can I give them the actual answer for this?" Like
yes,
Meathead is
like
on an extreme amount of NDAs, I'll say.
yeah, like because I'm wondering if like this Datacron where she's gonna get more eyes wisdom. Whenever Spectre allied with Mars Wisdom uses a special, she gains 3% ult, and like she gains ult so quickly, and the 15% max health and protection. Like without those, I'm curious how good that team will end up being because the biggest problem is they can't get Zerg down
Yeah,
right now.
but here's the thing though, is like it doesn't add a lot because her compared to like almost all the other GL datacons we've had, it's terrible. Like it doesn't really add very much, if anything.
But her getting ultimate reduces or increases all of your cooldowns.
But her first alt, if you play it right, it's like it's a one turn alt. So that 3% isn't
Yeah,
actually adding anything for her first alt. After her second alt, it's like okay, you get a bit of stats. Her alts aren't her main thing ever, except the cooldown
no,
increase,
it's
which is nice. But
but that cooldown increase though can be devastating
her
if
datacron
you
doesn't affect that though, because
yeah,
on
but you get it
offense
faster.
you're getting the second alts faster. On defense,
Yep.
yes, because she doesn't they don't do the smart play and get the turn one alt on defense.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference, but on offense it isn't really.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, man, like I'm kind of curious to see kind of like going back or thinking about TB with this team. I am curious how much of an impact it will have in terms of some of the later planets. Like if you can use this team on Mandalore successfully, that will be a huge deal because that Mandalore unrestricted mission is not the easiest thing
really,
because of all the assists.
I just use JML. I never when I play it manually, I never lose that battle.
I don't lose it any with the Drogon team or with I've used Ray with like Ezra Bridger at one point. I've used her with like Padme and I do okay, but I'm curious if you use Ahsoka, Ezra, and the Spectre team there, how good it could be. Because that could be you know, you think of that planet for players, like what's the real use of this team? If this is consistent there, it opens up other options on Kessel and, Lothal and everywhere else.
Yeah, but I feel like you'd want to use her on Lethal or not whatever it is. I feel like you'd want to use her on the light side missions because they're way harder. Whereas you can use
I don't
any
know.
GL on
Lethal's
Mandalore.
the easiest.
Lethal is
Lethal's
that
a
mixed or light side? I forget.
that's light side. It's so
Okay.
easy.
Is that the one where is that R9 or
You
R8?
all right.
Okay. Trying to remember.
I use QA
I
on
used
the unrestricted mission there.
Oh yeah, I used Leia and QA, I want to say there. But I only
Yeah,
have
like it.
yeah, Leia QA
But
and
that's
JMK, I think. Yep,
yeah,
that
like
was
I
easy.
use JMLs on the south part on the Jedi mission. I use but like my QA team up top, and then I get the rest of my GLs and the other planets. But like if you can use Ahsoka consistently on Mandalore and do well for a lot of players, I think that's a big bonus.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I used Jedi for the Zephyr mission. The
Yeah,
Jedi Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
I last time I think I got it to work where I got all the CMs I could attempt because I used JML with Ezra and JKCK and JKL on the Zephyr mission. That was so easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I use Ezra, Jedi Master Kenobi, Jedi Knight Luke, Shock T, and then like Jedi Knight Cal, and I win like every time.
Oh, you
I
used
didn't even
Kenobi
have
with them?
well, I don't need Kenobi. I platooned him last time and I still won that mission. Just Kenobi makes it a little bit faster because I can juice like mastery for Ezra and stuff.
Yeah. I should write a make a whole outline of like what I use in that phase. That's my hardest phase. Or is it
Yeah,
that one, the
that's my
third and the fourth, those are the most complicated because there's so many missions.
yeah, my phase 4 is absolutely the most challenging phase. I need to get next TV. I'm gonna try to force myself to video that so I can show everybody kind of what I'm doing. Because that's a Dathomir, no GLs, Zepho, Lethal, Mandalore, Kessel.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm excited for doing additional relics on Bo-Katan Mandalore because then I can on phase four I can use her for one of those missions that I'm not beating, and then phase five I can do the Mandalore mission or fill
Yeah.
the blank because I think I want to say we spend 3 days on Mandalore, but oh yeah, because the first day it's blocked off, second day we do missions, third day we do missions. So
Yeah, we block off. I think the second day I got to do the fleet mission, but there was no other missions available on Mandalore.
yeah, I need to figure out the strategies for that fleet mission and the Zephyr fleet mission because I never really beat them. I always just mess it up.
Dude, those are the two like I mean, I can use for Mandalore, I don't even use Leviathan.
Well, I don't have Leviathan for Mandalore. I have to use Empire, which is why
Yeah,
I
so
mess it up because the thing is, the biggest thing is I don't know the strategy. I just kind of do whatever. And so every
Chimera, Gauntlet, TIE Fighter Pilot, Vader, and then you're gonna bring out Defender as your first reinforcement, and then you bring out Scythe, and you're gonna win.
yeah, that's what I do. And Defender dies.
You have to stun Anakin with
Okay.
Defender when she comes in. You stun Anakin, and then you let like you're gonna lose Marauder or you're gonna lose Vader all the time. I've never had Vader survive that mission.
Okay.
He just gets nuked out right
And
away.
then you call out
But
Scythe
he's
after
only
that?
there. What?
And then you call it Scythe after that?
Well, yeah, Defender. Then you call in Scythe, and then if you have to, if you, I've brought out like TIE Interceptor at that point, and it's pretty easy.
Okay. Because I'm just not consistent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you, and then I always try to insta kill Marauder with Chimera if I can, like it. But
Okay.
once you kill Anakin, it's pretty easy. Like I'll insta kill Chimera or I'll insta kill the Marauder before I insta kill. I'll let
What
Anakin keep going.
what strategy do you use for the Zepho fleet?
So I do um Galactic Republic. So you've got your negotiator, and then I start Anakin, Marauder, and Y Wing, and then I'll bring out Plo Koon as a reinforcement.
So you basic first turn?
No, I will AoE first turn with negotiator.
Okay.
And
And then
then
do basic and then call out blow.
yeah, I don't know if I do basic or if I bring up the shield too. I might use the shield at that point.
Okay.
But yeah, all you're trying to do, honestly, is you spam your basic with Jedi Knight Anakin on target locks to keep granting Valor and juice up your turn meter for the negotiator.
Yeah, I just don't know the strategy to be honest. I just always do something different every time. Sometimes I do
You're
basic and try to call Plo right away, but then everyone just dies.
Yeah, I do the AoE. I don't mess around. I think Egg might have done the basic first, but I always just AoE.
Okay. Yeah, because
But yeah,
those are the fleet missions I don't usually win because I just don't do the right strategy. I do though. I kind of want to this time I want to watch a video for the scythe mission in phase one and see if I can just I just want to attempt it because I
it's
don't even attempt it last time. I missed that phase I think. So
I have beat it without TIE Interceptor before.
without
I
tie
have a video of
interceptor.
me doing it without TIE Interceptor. It's
Interesting.
not easy. It's not consistent, but I've done it.
Because it's because what exactly is the strategy? It's you do the scythe opening and then you call out defender, right?
Yeah, I don't even think I used the scythe opening. I think I just bring
Well,
out
I think scythe is required, so
yeah, but like I don't think I try to dispel the buffs right away. I feel like I use um I think I do shuttle, scythe, and the Mark 6 interceptor and let them go after Mark 6 or the shuttle or whoever, and then I bring out defender.
oh, you bring Mark 6 interceptor. Interesting.
Yeah, because Mark 6 is you kind of like your sacrificial lamb. Doesn't matter how much
So
damage they do,
you
you're only
don't.
dealing in it because if you can get the thing is if you can get Mark 6 to survive, right? That's how I was able to do it without tie interceptor. Is if you can get it to survive and it has Palp's shuttle there, it'll gain 10 extra stacks.
Oh yeah, because pop shuttle is also a little hard to kill with the protection up on crits.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
then
think
you
it's
have to survive 2 turns with Chimera though before you call out the defender.
yeah. Oh, it's not it's I did not say it was fun or easy,
So
but
would it be better to use Vader in the opening then?
well, if you have tie interceptor, you're using Vader.
Okay.
I need to tell my guild to stop giving me that ship. But I have to platoon it.
Oh,
And
you have
it
the
pisses me off.
platoon interceptor.
Yeah. It pisses me off because it costs me a wave.
Of course, it's phase 1, so
Yeah. They don't care enough. So I like it's not a huge deal. Like when I want to try to actually go for a PR, I'd make them give it to somebody else.
mhm.
But yeah. Dude, yeah. Next time you do those, I will you got I have stuff. Egnards has it. Like they're pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah, I probably should. That sounds like a good idea. Kind of slacking a
But
little bit on those missions.
yeah, dude. Yeah. The I would say, but from talking with Egg, who, by the way, if you guys don't know, Egnards and Wombat are in the same guild.
Yeah,
Um,
he's my TB officer.
like
But a good thing
I
he
think
doesn't listen to this podcast.
I think the biggest difference between our guild and your guys's is in general, my guild is more successful in combats than you guys are.
Yeah, probably.
From from conversations I have with him, and he was trying to understand our strategy, and I was like, we can't do certain missions on Mandalore or on Zepho because we'd fill it up, like we'd go over um on our GP and stuff. So yeah, it's an interesting kind of debate to have with him. I've told
Mhm.
him that he should join my guild for like a TB or two just to tell us what we're doing wrong, and then he can go back to you guys.
Tell us what you're doing wrong, and then he'll see the stuff that you guys are doing differently.
Yeah. But so what are your final thoughts, man? Anything you want to leave the player base with?
Um,
Or I guess the subscriber base, whatever you want to call it.
subscriber, the podcaster base. Oh, look, the dish came back. Huh.
Yikes.
Nice.
Dude, by the way, okay, I'm gonna leave what are you gonna leave us with? And then I'll leave everybody with something.
Um, Bo-Katan Mandalore is a really fun team to use on offense.
Yes, agreed.
Oh my gosh. I've only used her once in GAC and it was like this is just so much fun.
Yes,
And
100%.
I really enjoy that I like perfected their mods already. Like I have a I'm looking at other people's mods, like I'm like comparing mods and I'm like, why is my ID 12 so much faster than yours? And they're just like, I just don't care enough. I'm like, well, I don't mind it. Like mine's like 315, I think, or something like that. And tanky and has a lot of potency. And I'm like, this makes me very happy that I have good mods and it's paying off. Like it's just so much. It's such a fun team to use.
Yeah,
I
it
I
is like,
I, I want to do the R9 just because, if not, just because it's so much fun.
yeah, yeah, I
What are
would
your
agree with
stats
that.
on IG? I can just pull that up.
He had 311 speed for sure.
Okay, I actually don't know how fast I is. I
Um,
can put it up real quick.
hold on, let me look. I forgot where he is now. 311 speed, 142,000 health,
So mine's
and
316 speed, 120
and then
health.
108.
Yeah, mine has 120% potency. I have a potency cross. I
Yeah, I don't
don't
have
know
a
if I'll keep
potency
that.
cross.
I haven't really looked into whether that's good or not, but it seems like a good idea because he has a lot of debuffs.
I've got 24% potency just from secondaries,
Yeah,
but
that
I do have some good. I did get a couple of good defense percent stats on him that I liked. But yeah, I his mods, I wouldn't say I went crazy with his comparative to some of the other characters I have, but
yeah
he's just good enough.
yeah. Like if I wanted to, I could pull that cross off, give him what 9 more speed and like 15k more health, but he's already really tanky. Like I don't really feel like
Yeah.
it's that. And I have the GAC armies too, so he's getting 50% extra health on top of that.
Yeah.
So
I want to leave everybody with the Saw, Luthen, Drogon team just being way too good on defense.
with triple Ami, it's very funny.
It's just it like, and I mean, this team up here is stupid too, right? But I wonder if they just did they do an extra attack while we were like, was it at four the whole
Yeah,
time?
it was at 3 while we were tabbed out.
But like, this is exactly like this team right here is why this team gets holds, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That I would not get holds with the Saw, Luthen, Drogon if I wasn't setting Leia, Fulcrum, R2. Because you're drawing out the whole goal of my defense has always been if I can stop you on the front wall, I'm going to win. Because if you're going to get through my front walls, you're going to destroy me because I don't have the datacrons to manage
Interesting. Why are you setting Enoch on defense?
because I can. I don't like dude, you got to realize like at some point my defensive strategy is I don't care about this team or this team. It's can you beat this, this, and this?
Yeah. Because it
Like,
doesn't it doesn't do anything on defense. It just gets Terminator the sword.
yeah, but
Although
I still have to
granted,
go and
granted, I used Afra on that this GAC and I won. It was not good banners though. I definitely should have used something else, but I just wanted
yeah,
to see what Afra does.
I don't love it. I need to figure out a new thing to put there. But
If,
anyway,
if you
yeah, we'll
have
figure
the
it out.
if you have the Omicron, it is can be pretty deadly on defense if they don't know how to deal with it. But at this point, everyone knows how to deal with it.
Yeah, but I'm kind of I don't know. Maybe that's just the way I think about GAC. I don't mind setting something down there that you're gonna know how to kill, right? Like I don't mind setting something down that people know how to kill because I'm not relying on you like for like Ray, right? And the Leia team and the Luthen team. I know that people are going to have the tools to beat those teams. It's just I'm relying on either my Omicron, my modding, or the Datacron stats to make the difference between you
Mhm.
winning and losing. And yeah, so that's what I want to leave you guys with. When you're set, maybe the way to say this is that when you're going to set a team like this, you've got to be able to set something else that's going to make it a risk. Because if I don't have Leia here, then I'm pulling out Sith Eternal and Bane, and this is no problem.
Yeah, but
So
now they're dropping a battle on that, and if they didn't drop on Leia, like for me, me and my opponent, we didn't drop any battles. I guess I mean I didn't set a very hard defense. I have a lot on offense, but I'm gonna win because I can outbanner them in fleets.
yeah,
So but if they would have set that team and I would have had to pull a non-GL for that, I might have dropped and then all of a sudden I just lose.
yes, yep, yeah. So that's my GAC strategy. You guys can
So
see my defense. I don't
um
really care.
yeah, my final thoughts I will say. Reset your defense for 3-3 because I took Leia, Ben, and Ezra on offense.
Oh yikes,
I used them against what was it? Savage lead with Maul and Talon. It was quite the counter.
yikes.
I think I one shot everyone but Savage with Ben's AoE at Relic
Oh
9.
my god, that's so funny.
I was just like, oh, I have this. And I didn't use the against GL because I'm like, what does it kill? Does it kill
Yeah,
Java? Does it? I have no idea. It's an unknown quantity because no one uses this team on offense.
yeah. it kills a lot.
I think it does kill Java. I think I used it before, but I was like, I want to use something else. But it is
But
extremely fun on offense though, because you just kind of kill.
I think Ray is one of the more fun GLs to play with on offense.
Yeah, it's just the thing is you're never going to get full banners, but you just have to accept it going into the battle. You're not getting full banners.
If you've got Ezra and you've got Cal, I think you could.
That's a good point. Yeah, 3-3. It's harder.
Yes. Although with Ezra, maybe. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you're
my
normally going to
issue.
drop. Go
Yeah, yeah.
ahead.
Well, I was saying my issue I had was I just killed everyone too fast, so I couldn't recover.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But all right, man. Well, that concludes episode 3. Hopefully, you guys just kind of. I feel like we really went. We covered the topics we wanted to talk about, but we didn't really mention what those topics are, which I feel like that's kind of a success.
Yeah, which means it'll be like, what the heck do we name the podcast?
Yeah, random thoughts and shit.
Yeah, I used to from an old podcast. It used to be what was it? Like a joke or something where it's like, oh, this thing that we talked about in the podcast, and it has nothing to do. We didn't mention a single thing about it, but it's like, but
Yeah,
it's part of the joke. It's like because it's like it's hard to say,
Ter-
but
why we love territory wars.
yeah, it's like if we name the podcast, um, Phil loves territory war armies. Phil is
I,
addicted to
I,
territory war. And then this whole podcast, and we talk about territory war armies for the first 10 minutes, and the entire rest of the podcast is nothing like that.
we could mention territory war Omicron's next
I think we
podcast.
did
So,
though, because we talked about Ahsoka. You talked about her being the
but
best territory
yes,
war
but
GL
there's more I need to add to that we'll add in the next episode.
in the next episode. We talked a lot about TV
Yes,
this time, I will say.
we did.
All
All
right,
right. Well, thanks for joining, folks. We'll see you in the next one.
we'll see you. Goodbye.